To this day, McCartney earns 30% royalty on every Beatles song.
Are you with Rolling Stones?
But he doesn't own any of them. Michael Jackson does.
We wrote 2 songs together, and during lunch or something, he just took me aside and said, I want some advice. So I felt kind of big brotherly, you know, quite a bit older than him. So I said, for a business, you ought to think about music publishing. It's a very good business. You love music. I'm into it. It does very well. It's a nice, easy business for a musician to be in, and it's a very rewarding business because it's music, songs, beautiful songs. So he kind of said, okay, you know, and that was the end of it. And then a couple of weeks later, we were chatting, and he just came up to me and said, "I'm going to buy your songs, you know." And I went, "Yeah, great, you know, good one." And we just carried on. And then a few weeks after that, he said, "I'm going to buy your songs." I thought, well, it's a bit of an old joke by now, but very funny, all right, you know. And I still knew he was kidding, you know. And just a few weeks later, just somebody rang me up and said, Michael Jackson's bought more than songs.
It's your whole portfolio.
Oh, yeah, and that's where all the Beatles songs are. But you know,
But it's not funny in a way, too, is it?
well, no, it's not funny at all. But the thing is, there's not.
Paul McCartney was like, you could see in his video when he kept hitting the dude and shit like that, and you know, he was actually, because that shit, that image, that conversation is stuck in the head, like when Michael, because now you're mad, you know what I mean? So your reaction is, you know, when he told you that shit, you hitting him, and you laughing at him, but little did you know that Michael Jackson wasn't just song and dance, as he said. You know, white people have a way of looking at us like we're inferior beings and we're not intelligent, we're not thinking. If anything, Paul McCartney made a mistake by putting that kind of information out there, like, yo, Michael, you should own your publishing. You know what I mean? And as we about to find out right now, Michael did more than just
he did much more than that. All right, fellas, here we go.
Can you feel this? See how heavy that is?
Rest in peace, Dick Gregory.
Rest in peace, Dick Gregory.
It's in alphabetical order. Huh? Turn to first page. See the A's, then the B's, and the C's? It's, how many pages is that?
22 pages.
This is a 22-page document of all the acts he owned in alphabetical order. And what do the headlines say? Michael owns 50% of Sony. Huh? That old Beatles stuff, that ain't that chump change. What's that headline say?
List of Sony/ATV music publishing artists.
50%.
Sony/AT Music Publishing is a music publishing company co-owned by the estate of Michael Jackson and Sony.
Michael owns 50% of all country western music. He owns 63% of Dolly Parton. Huh? He owns 50% of Charlie Pride. He owns 50% of Bob Dylan. Huh?
Did he say Bob Dylan?
He owns 50% Moon River. 50% that's
Bob
all.
Dylan, that's deep too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You see, look, just read him some of the names. He on Babyface.
And he was only in the B's. Go down to the Z's.
Who is that?
Led Zeppelin.
Beyonce Knowles.
ZZ Top. You know.
M&M's. Huh? And it goes on and on and on. You see them others that you recognize?
Boys to Men, Bon Jovi, Brenda Lee, Brian Harvey, Brian West, Brick and Lace, Bright Eyes, Brooks and Dunn.
And it goes on and on and on. That's just the B's. And if all this was sold today, the estate would probably get between $40 and $50 billion.
I'm really tired of the manipulation. I'm tired of how the press is manipulating everything that's been happening in this situation. They do not tell the truth. They're liars. manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie. The history books are lying. You need to know that. You must know that. All the forms of popular music, from jazz to hip hop to bebop to soul, you talk about the different dances, from the cakewalk to the jitterbug to the Charleston to breakdancing. All these are forms of black dancing. The minute it became the all-time best-selling albums in history in the Guinness Book of World Records, overnight they called me a freak. They called me a homosexual. They called me a child molester. They said I tried to bleach my skin. They made everything to turn the public against me. This is all complete conspiracy. You have to know that. You know, it's time, a little more. It's time for a change. And let's not leave this building and forget what has been said. Put it into your heart. Put it in your subconscious mind. And let's do something about it. We have to. We have to. Because it's been a long.
Now that was deep right there.
Yeah, that's real
deep.
deep. Yep.
Don't forget nothing of what you heard. You know, put it in your conscious mind and do something about it.
Yep. Yep.
Like, what you feel about that?
I feel like, when he was, dancing, chucking and jiving, it was cool with everything. Nobody messed with Michael Jackson. But once he start talking, start making a business move, like owning 50% of Sony, that's like a gangster move. I haven't even heard of artists that I can remember doing anything like that with their company. So once he starts talking like that, and he's making songs like They Don't Really Care About Us, and he's bringing, self-awareness to a lot of people, he broke whatever regime he was under, he broke code with them, especially once he bought the Beatles catalog, and he got half of Sony, he owned half of everybody publishing.
So basically, when Paul put him, so maybe to answer my question, what I asked earlier, like how did Michael Jackson even acquire all them catalogs? He probably researched and just looked like, yo, so you selling Bob Dylan? You selling Dolly Parton for this amount of money?
Right. And you can see, because he had to have the money to get these masters, this publishing. You know what I mean? So he's like, Mike has money. So he's like, well, why not invest in it?
And that goes to show you, why wouldn't you would think a woman like Dolly Parton would have her own? You know,
all those countries, all those guys,
Beyonce,
they should own their own stuff. Remember back then, a lot of the artists was getting jerked. They were signing horrible contracts.
Dick Gregory said one day, Dick Gregory came over to visit him, and somebody that came downstairs said Michael wanted to talk to you upstairs. And then when Dick Gregory went upstairs to kick it with Michael and stuff like that, he said he pulled him a little close and he was just like, yo, they trying to murder me.
Yeah, and what was the name of his last, the tour that he was about to do?
This is it.
This is it. And that was the last tour he had to do to fulfill a contract, if I'm not mistaken.
That was his last one to do with Sony. Because he still had, even though he owned half of Sony, but in order
still
to
had certain obligations to them.
He still had that one album, exactly.
What I don't like about Paul, I remember Kanye West did business with Paul McCartney like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was some sellout shit. But for Paul McCartney to even just be mad at Michael because he bought your catalog, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, will Michael feel the same way about you at that time if you bought his catalog? Especially if Michael didn't have no knowledge about publishing or masters. Mm-hmm. So why was you so upset with Michael because he had your catalog? You the one that put it in his head.
So you should have been trying to get, if you guys are so the biggest, group in the world, how come you didn't buy your own? How come you're not taking your own advice and buying your own stuff? You know what I mean?
And this goes into, it's a lot of brothers out here, and I don't know too many women, but I know Chris Brown just recently got his masters. And when he got his masters, he just recently got, I think, this year.
Really?
If not this year, it was December. But what happened to Chris Brown, within the beginning of this year? A false allegation of rape.
Now he, yeah.
So he gotta watch his tail because he gotta keep his nose clean. You know what I mean? Because
now
you got Chris Brown has a lot of hits, and I don't know how much money he would generate off the Chris Brown brand. I'm sure it's a lot, at least $1 billion or more.
Yeah, because you're going back until when he was a teenager, when he first started.
And it's like they trying to, if y'all remember, it's like they kind of try to turn Chris Brown into the new Michael Jackson. Remember when he was coming out on the awards, coming out to all of the old Michael Jackson stuff like that.
They're not done with him.
Yeah, they had him since he was little. He was little too.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.